Okay, continuing on 6.5 with some perimeter problems. We're going to do problem number 27. The floor of Batman's costume storage closet is 9 feet more than 3 times its width. You see how that's a translation problem? And that's how I'm going to treat it. I'm going to translate it. So it says that the floor, which we assume it to be a rectangle, of this is 9 feet more than 3 times its width. So we're going to call this the length, and I'm going to write this just in words only this time instead of using the L's, so I can use X's and Y's. So it is 9 feet more than, that's plus 9, and what's it 9 feet more than? 3 times its width, so 3 times its width. Do use words, not variables, okay? So words being width there. And then the width we know is up here. And so now what we have is we have that the perimeter is 138 feet. So we know the perimeter is 2 times, and I'm going to use the words here instead of the variables so it doesn't seem so confusing perhaps. So 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and we know that that is going to be 138. So we have 138, and these are again feet. You want to make sure that you write down those units. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some substitutions. So the only thing I don't know besides the length is the width, so I'm going to call the width just an X here. And I'm going to call the length over here a Y, because when we don't know two things, if we make them each unknowns, then we can call them two different variables. And now some substitution into here is going to give us an equation here. So the first equation that I have is y is equal to 3 times x plus 9. And usually one of our equations is going to come from a relationship between the two unknowns. You want to look for that. Now I'm going to substitute the unknowns x and y into this perimeter equation, and there usually will be some kind of formula that helps us make the second one just like this. So 2 times the length is y, plus 2 times the width is x, and that's equal to 138 feet. And you see now we have our system of equations, and again we're going to go ahead and solve that. So this is an expression for y, so we're going to substitute that in there to solve. So now we have 2 times 3x plus 9, and then plus 2x. So let's substitute it in, and then finish writing the equation. And now we're going to solve that just like we were before. And so we have 6x plus 18, and that's plus 2x, and then that's equal to 138. And now we have 8x plus 18 equals 138. And now we'll subtract 18 from both sides, add the opposite, right? Looks like subtraction because it is. And now what we get is 8x is equal to 120. And then we'll divide by 8 on both sides, multiply by the reciprocal. Looks like division because it is. So 8 will go into 12 one time with 4 left over, and into 45 times. So what we have is 15. So we get x is equal to 15. So x, remember, is the width. That's why we write that down. So this is 15, and that's feet. And then the next thing we do is we substitute that into our other expression here, right? So we're going to get that this is 3 times the width, which is 15, and then plus the 9. So we have 45 plus 9. So we have 54, and that's feet. Now the thing that I got cut off on our last problem is that we can check that, right, by looking at that, does that give us the perimeter? So 15 plus 15, which would give us 30, plus 54 plus 54, which would give us 108, and does 108 plus 130 give us that perimeter that we're looking for? And indeed it does, and so we see that that's a check. So our width is 15 feet and our length is 54 feet. So you might want to try this next problem about Fanny Farkle on your own, and then come back and look at the next video to see if you've done it correctly.